Wondering if Murrieta has everything you need for daily life, like where you're going to shop or where the local hospital is? Let's break down what Murrieta really has. Welcome back to Love to Live in the Temecula Valley. I am Catherine Materiali, your host, and I'm so glad you're joining me today. You know, I help a lot of folks move from out of the area, whether just from LA or San Diego or even out of state. And when you are moving to a new area, one of the biggest things is just knowing where everything is at, especially when you're looking in different parts of town. You want to know, for example, where the hospitals are and where's your local grocery store. I'm going to actually be looking at those two things with you today. This is going to be a very tactical map tour. And first, we're going to go over grocery stores. Now, if you didn't already catch the video that I posted last week, it was a long one, but you can really get in there and start to see where the different neighborhoods are in the different parts of town. So today I'm going to do that same flow, and I'm going to show you where the local hospitals are and where the local grocery stores are. So let's start with grocery stores. Now, West Murrieta, if you recall, West Murrieta is this part of Murrieta that is west of the 15 freeway. And I'm going to take you area by area. If you were to live in West Murrieta, this is where you would shop. Okay, you've got your options. Now, as you know, I live in West Murrieta, if you haven't seen that one of my other videos. And our closest grocery store right here is Ralph's, which is right on the corner of Calle de los Oro and Washington. And actually, they've got great gas prices at that grocery store. If you wanted to go to a Barron's, then this is actually Wildomar, but it's right here. You've got Barron's right here. And then right here by the freeway, you've got Stater Brothers. And on the other side, you have Albertsons. And then over here, you have Grocery Outlet if you want a discount version, and you can get some really great deals there. So if you live in that kind of north end of West Murrieta, those are your closest grocery stores. Now, if you were to go a little bit further down, there are a couple of other things that are good to know. For example, Walmart. They do have their grocery section. They don't have produce, but they have, your freezer and fridge and all of your dry goods. There's a Smart and Final if you like Smart and Final. And then there's a Cardenas if you need that as well. So all of that is everything that you would need if you were looking on West Murrieta. Now, if you were to go Central Murrieta, so if you remember, Central Murrieta is this portion between the 15 freeway and the 215 freeway. Now, I do want to point out that we're here in West Murrieta, but this is right there. So you may come over this direction as well. That's why I pointed out these areas, these grocery stores here. And it's going to be the same thing with Central Murrieta. This is not a huge area. So if you are in the central portion, you again might have that overlap where you can go to Grocery Outlet or Albertsons or Stater Brothers or Barron's right there. But actually, there's another Barron's right here off of California Oaks. And you have an Albertsons again right here, right by the Target. This is not a super Target, so that's not going to be for they do have some groceries if you need to pick up something quick, but it's not a super Target where you're going to have the produce. And then you do have the overlap here where you have the Walmart. Right over here off of Los Alamos, you have another Stater Brothers. And then up here at the top where Clinton Keith is, you have a super Target right here. It just shows as a Target, but this is actually a super Target. So if you do like to go to super Target, that is an option. And then right here on the other side of the freeway, you have Costco. And it doesn't show on the map, but in the same shopping area, there's also an Aldi. I love Aldi for when I do my charcuterie boards because you can get really great cheeses and cured meats there for way less than what you'd spend in other shops. So little tip for you there. Now, if you were to go on the east side of Murrieta, now If you watched the video last week, you'll know that East Murrieta is a large area. You don't want to drive a long distance for your grocery store, right? So you really want to stick to things that are close. So I'm going to break this down and show you some options. So here you do have some overlap with Temecula, but if you recall from my video last week, like this is Temecula, but then this is Murrieta. So we're going to kind of start with this southernmost portion of East Murrieta that's right on the border of Temecula. So if you were to live in this east portion or even in the central, this is going to be your closest Trader Joe's. But oddly enough, there's actually a Trader Joe's right here, right across from the mall. I will give you a tip though. This Trader Joe's parking lot is so small and so hard to get in and out of. This Trader Joe's parking lot though, because they only opened up this Trader Joe's within the last year. Actually, I think it was this year. Time flies. So much parking. It's phenomenal. And what my husband and I love is it's right across from the Sam's Club. We actually have membership to Sam's Club and Costco because one store has one thing, another store has another. So it is not uncommon for us to run to Sam's Club and get some gas, get some groceries, and then also get some additional things at Trader Joe's right there. And then my husband is a big fan of Amazon Fresh. These are popping up more and more in our area, but the next closest one that I'm aware of is up in Corona. So if you're an Amazon Fresh shopper, then that is right there off of Murrieta Hot Springs. Now, if you live in this east portion, Winco is a great option. If you're not familiar with Winco, they're really great on prices. And what I really like about Winco is they have a lot of bulk items. So if you want bulk cereal or flour or things like that, that is a great option. And then another discount option, and it's not really popping up over here, but there is a Food for Less right over here off of Inez as well. So you do have those options. And then you have Sprouts. So these are in Temecula, but again, they're right on the border of Temecula and Murrieta. So if you live in this portion, this would be a place that you would go. So you have your Sprouts right there. Now, if you continue to go up, I'm gonna kind of go northeast per se. So if you live more in this portion of Murrieta or over here, this is where our church is, the Bridge Church. And there are more neighborhoods up here to the right. You've got an Albertsons, you've got a Vons. That Vons has gas as well. And then again, it doesn't show on the map, but you've got another Aldi here. Love my Aldi, I really do. And then if you continue to go up Winchester, I'm going to show you a couple different directions here. So if you live in French Valley, then you do have off of Benton, you have another Stater Brothers right here, and opened not too long ago, another grocery outlet. And then we kind of get past this portion, then we kind of get into Winchester. So now if you notice, if you remember when I was talking about Clinton Keith and East Murrieta, this is Spencer's Crossing, and Clinton Keith now goes across. There's that Costco again, and the Super Target, and the Aldi. And then if you live in kind of the most northeast portion of Murrieta, really this Mapleton is the last of Murrieta, and then there's neighborhoods all along here. There is one more Albertsons that you would consider right here off of Scott Road. So those are the grocery stores that you want to be aware of. Now I'm going to show you where the hospitals are. So we're going to go in here just so you have a little visual. Okay, so in this same portion, so if you live anywhere in Murrieta, really you're either going to be Kaiser or you're going to need one of the other hospitals, right? So let's talk Kaiser first. If you're Kaiser, there is, if you go up the 215 and past Clinton Keith, you see Loma Linda here. Well, actually right also in this area, you also have a Kaiser. Let's see if it shows up here. Yep, just past Keller. So you see the Loma Linda first, which we'll get to, but right over here by Mapleton, there is a beautiful Kaiser facility. It's big. It's a big one. So, and that's pretty dang new. So that has been a really great addition. And then also, if you live, like, let's say you live over by me in West Murrieta, your next closest one again is going to be in Wildomar. And right here, you can actually see the hospital, the Southwest Healthcare Hospital off the freeway. But here off of Inland Valley, there's actually, when you zoom in here, there's a Kaiser location right here as well. Actually, I have a wonderful client who works at that facility. And then there is another Kaiser location that they opened up in Wildomar right off of, I'm going to go up a little bit further here, right off of Wildomar Trail, and that is also very new. Kaiser's been doing a good job on opening facilities. And then the next closest one, if you live kind of more in the southeast part of Murrieta, then you are going to be in one of the more established locations right off of Winchester Road and Jefferson. It's showing a hotel here, but there is actually a Kaiser location right over here by the freeway as well. So if you're Kaiser, that's where you want to pay attention to different locations. And then if you have any other sort of insurance, I'm going to point out, so if you go up the 215, let's see here, you've got Loma Linda. It's not the big Loma Linda that you're thinking of, but there is a Loma Linda hospital down here. It is beautiful. I will tell you, during the pandemic, I had to have an unexpected surgery, and we ended up there. And I personally had an amazing experience by going there. And I've had also friends who have had deliveries there, and they've had wonderful experience as well. Amazing staff, beautiful facility. And then let's talk, I'm going to zoom out again. Let's talk Southwest Healthcare. So I would say that's probably the most prominently known hospital location, and they have a couple of different spots. So again, right off of the freeway, and they've been building a new surgery facility, which is absolutely beautiful. I think they're getting close to it being done. But you have Inland Valley Southwest Healthcare in this location here, and they've got an ER there. I have been there when the kids had croup and different scenarios that have come up. And again, we've had a great experience personally. So you have the Inland Valley location there. And then if we go further south, and we're going to go to Murrieta Hot Springs and then Hancock, this is Rancho. This is also Southwest Healthcare. And this is where they do have an ER there. They do have, the hospital there. But this is where the Women's Center is, and labor and delivery. And I have delivered 2 children there. And again, my experience was very, very good. And they do have the NICU affiliated with Rady's, which is a big deal. And then actually, I do want to point out too, that you have it's not a hospital, but you do have a Rady's location where there are some specialists there too, as well as pediatricians. So those are the main hospitals, and those are the main grocery stores. I hope you have found this helpful. I know those are 2 kind of very different things, but to me, I want to know where those important things are when I'm looking in a new area. And I would love to be able to show you anything else that you think would be helpful. So please do drop a comment if there are any other things that you're thinking of that you would like to know. I am going to be doing another video of fun things to do. What's there when you move to an area, you want to know, okay, where can I have date night, or where can I take the kids? Where's the local park? So we're going to be breaking down some of that. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to the channel and like this video. And we deliver new content every week. We can't wait to help you if you are looking to move to this area. You guys have a great one, and I'll see you on the next video.